Nice.
It's time.
It's time.
They've got to give it to Eddie Cavani, Joe!
They haven't they? Yeah, new
yes!
contract.
New contract for Edinson Cavani. Welcome to Stretford, Paddock. I am Adam McCullough. He is the one and only Joe Smith. We were stood here getting ready to film the greatest show on planet Earth, PL Piss Take. That's still coming for you later on today. But we got the notification. We got the Batman sign from a man like Fabrizio Romano. Yeah. There's a cobweb up there. It said, here we go. It said Edinson Cavani has signed that new deal. It is confirmed, complete, official. It's not official. All that stuff.
Yeah, unofficial but official really, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like, you know when you're at that stage with the lady in your life or the man in your life, bit nervous to ask, but you know.
Yeah.
It's done.
We've been seeing each other for 2 months. Like, is this official or are we just kind of...
Like, I'd never make it official.
Do you not?
Just go with the flow. Because then, after 5 years, if they go, well, you asked me to be... I didn't ask you to be...
I didn't say anything.
It just happened,
Show me the text.
Yeah, show me proof.
Show me the text when I asked you to be my girlfriend.
Yeah, because I didn't. I don't.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. What are your thoughts then? Edinson Cavani signed. Let's get the details out of the way first. Let me go on Fabrizio Romano's Twitter because he's the one who's broken this news. There have been rumours about this for a week or two now, but this is the first official or, essentially official confirmation we get out of Fabrizio Romano. He tweeted, Edinson Cavani has signed his contract extension with Manchester United. Here we go. The agreement has been completed. Cavani has accepted to stay after the Man United board and Solskjaer were pushing to keep him. Confirmed and done deal. He also went on to say, Cavani has signed until June 2022, so 1 season longer, basically, is the extension. He'll be here next season with Manchester United, 1 more season. Official announcement expected in the next days, but the deal is done and completed. Here we go. Thoughts?
Delighted. I've been saying it, haven't I? I've been saying it for the last couple of weeks. Get Cavani signed up. Get Pogba signed up. We go into this summer thinking, right, what do we need to bring in to make us champions, to bring us to that level? That's how we start thinking. But if we lose Cavani and we lose Pogba, we have to go into the summer thinking, what do we need to bring us back to the level we were at last season and then improve us? And I just don't think, when you look at the Glazers and all the money they're spending on boarding up Old Trafford, I don't think they've got the money or the even intent to buy 5-6 players in a transfer window. So, and that's even if we got money for Pogba. So amazing, amazing news. Because as well, I'm realistic. I don't think we're getting Haaland this summer. No. Kane this summer, any one of those. Haaland maybe next year, but not now. So keeping Cavani, tying him down to that contract, actually it gives Mason another year to continue his improvement and his progression. It gives Martial another chance to say, look, this is a blip. And you can then go into next summer where if this summer you've bought your right winger, your holding midfielder, you can go into next summer where you then go, right, our marquee signing is a striker. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because if it was this summer where we needed a striker, I don't think we get that marquee signing. There's been talk about Tammy Abraham, bro. People like that.
You're not a fan?
Like, bro, great player, but go to Villa or something. Don't come to Man United. Do you know what I mean?
I like Tammy Abraham, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Do you know what,
He's not Edinson Cavani, is he?
Edinson Cavani has more goals than Tammy Abraham.
He's got more goals than he's got appearances.
He's got more goals than Chelsea's top goal scorer in the league. So why the hell do we want Tammy Abraham?
Yeah.
When you got and bro, for free as well. That movement, we worked together for the game. I know you felt how I did. When that ball went to Rashford and Cavani made the run, his third run in that move, because he made 2 beforehand.
Yeah.
You knew it was a goal in it.
Yeah. Because he makes that little snake in front of the right back, behind the centre back. And it's like, it's a goal.
And Matty Cash was like, do I go with him?
Yeah.
Because he's not my man anymore once he crosses that position. I'm a fullback. I'm not supposed to be in the centre of the park.
But the centre back,
and then your centre back's already planted his feet and thought, right, here's my man here. Cavani's with the fullback. Surely if he's not going to come into this. Sometimes I think, you see Martial or Rashford or Greenwood at the moment. They make runs that are the right runs, but it's like you're making it. You're giving the defender what he expects.
Yeah.
So the fullback in that position, if it was Martial, Rashford, or Greenwood, they probably just pin him and look to win a header in the air.
They'd probably jog alongside the fullback and go in the box, but with the fullback.
Whereas if you just, bro, why am I staying with the fullback? I don't have to move around. you make them think, right, I can't move out of this position. Where do I go? And actually, Matty Cash followed him, but he created a mess in the defence. And it was such a great finish. Fantastic pass by Marcus Rashford as well. But when you look at the numbers he's putting up, and the improvements we've seen in Greenwood, obviously you have to give some credit to Mason, but you can't tell me some of that's not from speaking to Cavani.
Well, they've been saying, haven't they, that he's sort of really taken Mason under his wing. And like I said, I think it's 6 goals in his last 7 for Mason, and it's 8 goals in his last 7 for Cavani. So they're both coming good at the same time, which again, I don't think is a coincidence. And his movement, and he's not really had a proper run of games all season, whether that be fitness at the start, injury toward the end, the social media ban, or the ban that he got from his social media post in the middle. He's been sort of in and out bit part. You can see why he's sort of questioned, is this right for me? It's not really gone to plan. I've not really got a lot of goals. And then all of a sudden, like I said, it's 8 goals in 7 games. Like he's doing like world-class striker numbers now. And I think it's even throughout his whole time at United, it's a goal or assist every 93 minutes, I think. So basically, every time he plays, he's going to either get you a goal or make you a goal, which is just exactly what we need from a striker. Yesterday
when, I'm not sure if you could listen, because on the watch along you can't hear the TV.
Yeah.
But Troy Deeney was speaking before the game about how good Mason Greenwood is, and he's saying he's the best finisher, after Harry Kane in the Premier League. And I can't deny that. But there's no one with better movement than Edinson Cavani in the Premier League. His movement means that he will get 3, 4, 5 chances a game. And then it's whether he takes 1 or 2 of those.
Yeah.
Like his finishing is good, but I don't think it's Harry Kane good.
No.
But his movement's better than anyone's.
Yeah. I don't know if I've seen a striker at United, and I'm trying to think back because it wasn't Rooney's game, it wasn't really Ronaldo's game. They would drive at players more and, get obviously the great movement, great positioning. But I don't know if I can think of a striker that I've seen at United have movement like him, have positioning like him. I think Van Nistelrooy would probably be the best comparison, but he didn't rely on runs. He was just last minute, 2 or 3 yards positioning. But in terms of the move, like you said, three runs for every move. So he makes the initial run, he cuts back and goes in along the line, and he'll circle back round, make another run along the line. He's always trying to get in behind to make himself some space. And like I said, I don't know if I've seen anyone at United in recent years have movement like
One
him.
of my mates on Twitter, I think it might be Jimmy. Shout out Jimmy if it is him. But if it wasn't him, then I apologise.
Yeah.
But I think he said, as a pure striker,
now
listen to what we're saying, as a pure goal-scoring striker, he said he hadn't seen anyone better. Now, I argue Rude.
Yeah, I would.
But I get what he means. Like, there's not many strikers that we've had at Manchester United that have been as hungry for those goals. And one of the things with Rude was, and you see it in Cavani, he'd hang on the shoulder every time. Like, yes, sometimes he'd come deep, but very rarely was he looking to get involved in that mess there.
No.
You know what I mean? We saw Cavani do that and get Maguire injured, but less about that.
Yeah, give him the ball away. And just,
But when he's on the shoulder, the geezer's a joke. And when he came in, I was happy, half happy. I didn't expect this, so.
No, me neither. Because it felt at the time like it was another, and obviously the comparison between the two isn't anything to do with their stature in football because there is no comparison. But the way we got Ighalo the couple of transfer windows before, like a last minute, sort of an older striker with obviously massively different experience, massively different quality, but it almost felt like United were going, who's available for free that is 33? It's like, well, what is that for a transfer strategy? But when he comes in, and there's a reason he's got 350 career goals. Like, it's not unfair to compare Cavani to any striker United have ever had, because as far as I'm aware, he's probably, maybe other than Zlatan, he's probably got more or as many career goals as anyone that's ever played for United. Obviously not for United, but it's not stupid to compare Cavani to Rooney or Cavani to Van Persie because it's elite level world class strikers. So obviously he's a bit older. He's not a 26-year-old Cavani, but when we see what we've seen over the last couple of months, where he gets a run of form, he's fit, he's settled down in terms of mentality, seemingly based on what Solskjaer said, you see he's still got that world class striker in him. And like you said, it's sort of, I hate this thing of, it's like a new signing, and I don't mean that. But it means that we aren't desperate for a new striker anymore. We were desperate for a striker. Now we aren't necessarily, especially when Martial comes back and we've got that option as well. it means now we can go, what do we really need this summer? We need a right winger and we need a defensive midfielder and maybe a centre-back if there's one available. And all of a sudden that becomes much more manageable. Because before, if you're going, well, Cavani's going, so we need a striker. Well, Pogba's going, so we need a midfielder. Well, Greenwood's not a winger, so we need a winger. And, Maguire. Now it's like 3 solid players, and we could challenge next season for the Champions League and the league.
And something like keeping Edinson Cavani, and we're going to come to some of these super chats in a bit, guys. So thank you very much for bringing them in.
Yeah.
We'll get some of your comments and super chats read shortly. But with him staying now, just talk about Paul Pogba. He'll see that as, all right, cool. There's more reason for me to stay around. You lift a trophy at the end of the season. Pogba, the momentum that we're building going into this window. Now, there's part of it could be, have we seen a Cavani that we're not going to see next year? But I feel like, yes, he's at an age where he's older. He can't play every week. But I feel like he's also at an age where he knows himself. Do you get what I mean by that?
Yeah.
One of my favourite teams, in fact, it might be my favourite team ever for Man United, is the 94 side. If you remember that team that beat Chelsea 4-0 in the cup final in the pissing rain, that team had men everywhere, from back to front. Like, it was pure, like, you didn't want to fuck with that team. Cavani plays for that team. Like, all day long, he gets into that team. Maybe not ahead of Cantona, but he'll get into that team somewhere. Maybe Brian McClare or someone drops out. But that team was full of men from back to front, and Cavani's like that. Bruno, Pogba, Maguire. You're starting to get a spine to your team, and I feel we lost it with Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and Mourinho, I think, lost the dressing room when he lost Zlatan. You build a dressing room when you keep players like Cavani. It can be massively important to us, especially in the Champions League and things like that. And he came from PSG with a point to prove.
Yeah.
And you can't understate that.
No. Max K with a super chat. He's sort of mentioned a similar point to you there. Cavani plus Pogba re-signing and Sancho and Rice equals champions. Well, that's kind of to my point, isn't it? A winger, a CDM, keep Paul Pogba, you're looking like a team that can win some big trophies.
Anthony Williams had one and he said, is Eddie now our favourite Uruguayan? Sorry, Diego. We got Diego Forlan, Guillermo Varela.
Yeah.
Guillermo Varela, was that his name?
Guillermo. Yeah.
And Eddie.
I mean, he scored more goals than Forlan, hasn't he?
I gotta put Diego's in my heart.
But at the minute, he's got that cult
Get
status,
a brace at Anfield.
Yeah.
And we'll talk. Yeah? Try and take your shirt off and then fail to put it back on when the game's kicked off
and
again.
Wasn't it essentially him that got people booked for taking the shirt off? Because you didn't used to get booked for taking your shirt off. And then I can't remember who it was. It might have been Forlan who couldn't get their shirt
And
back
United's
on.
shirt had this weird
like
double
flat.
layer.
Yeah.
Like, it had a double layer which kind of got caught up, and then he was putting it back on and he couldn't. And Fergie was paddocking him.
He threw it into the crowd, didn't it?
Yeah, he was class.
We've got another super chat as well from Ari Feyer Hermansen Isfeld. Smashed it. What role will Martial play now? That's a good question.
I still think... I don't think he's as clear as first... When I say first choice, people think, oh, fucking hell, you're saying he's better than Cavani. I'm not saying he's better than Cavani, but he's still first choice. Right? Cavani can't play every week. And like yesterday against Aston Villa, in the first half, I thought we missed a striker. And when you can't play Cavani, Martial's a better option than anyone else in that team. And I think we're all prisoners of the moment, aren't we, sometimes? And I think you have to remember, there was a period this season even where people were going, oh, Cavani ain't it? And, they start to go, like, relax. Last season was great. This season's been bad. Some good performances. He'll still be a massive part of the squad next season. And I think you see it in training, the way the other players are just happy to have him back and everything. He's a big part of this team, and I think he'll be a part. In fact, I think Cavani staying takes pressure off. What kills him with pressure, and it might be good, pressure makes diamonds, is if you get a Haaland to someone. Because then it's like, call him off then,
Yeah, because he's younger than me.
Yeah. Whereas with this, it's like, you've just got an understudy for me who's more experienced. So I think it's a little bit different.
CJ Legends 89 says, I don't think Cavani was a panic buy. United wanted to wait till the end of the window to get him so they could save 10 million of the 20 million agent fees, which Atletico Madrid and Benfica wouldn't pay. I'm not saying he was a panic buy. I'm saying when we saw him sign, it felt to me like we signed Igalo, who's an aging sort of striker. Now we've signed at the last minute. Regardless of why we did it at the last minute, it was still a last-minute signing of another aging striker who, had been on the bench, who hadn't been part of things at PSG for a while, who we could have signed all summer. Fair enough, if they wanted to save 10 million agents fees, that's a different matter. But in terms of what it looks like as a fan, And what it felt like, it was like, we're just risking it at the last minute for someone who's, maybe is past his best, but obviously proven wrong.
Talking about someone that maybe passed their best, Harry Mills says, Ronaldo explored if Juve don't get UCL. Now, for those guys that don't know, Juventus were beaten by Zlatan Ibrahimovic's AC Milan yesterday 3-0, which means Juve are now 5th in the league with, I think, 3 games to go, maybe 2, but there's a handful of games left in the season to go. They're 3 points out of the top 4, potentially could miss out on Champions League football. What does that mean for Ronaldo? I think it means he won't be at Juve next season if that's the case.
Yeah.
But surely that's dead in the water now to United, right?
I don't know. I mean, he would be playing up front, wouldn't he? He's not. Ronaldo isn't a winger anymore and hasn't really been for about 5 years. So if we're getting Ronaldo, he's going up front. Now, to your point about Martial, if it were my choice, would I rather have Cavani and Ronaldo as our 2 strikers or Cavani and Martial? I would rather have Cavani and Ronaldo. Ronaldo's got 27 goals in 30 league games this season. Like,
the guy's ridiculous.
He's still incredible. Like, he's not going to get you 46 goals a season like he used to.
Is he better than?
No.
Is this that? 1, it's not happening.
No.
And 2, the finances that will be involved in that would probably mean you can't get Sancho.
But will it though? Because Ronaldo was 100 million 3 years ago or 2 years ago to Juve. He's worth substantially less than that now.
The wages, bro.
The wages are a lot. But if we get, let's say De Gea goes, that's half his wage sorted already. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just saying I can see a world where it might.
I don't want to. For the same reason, I wouldn't say give Fergie the job now.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin anything. I don't want anything to be tarnished. And Ronaldo's legacy at United is hard to tarnish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no.
You don't think so?
I think you've got to be the bigger man in this situation and say, as much as I would love to, like when temptations...
Yeah, it's like...
I've got a missus at home.
You're dating a girl.
Come on, Ronnie.
And then she has to move away for work. And you're like, that's the one that would have worked. And then she goes and she does well, and then she comes back and you're like, I've got a new girlfriend now. It's like, and there's a reason why that didn't work the first time round.
Do you dip your toes back in the water?
Me personally...
No comment.
No, I wouldn't. And that's the thing, I wouldn't. I know what you mean. Because it's like, there's probably a reason why he left. Do you know what I mean?
Me and you going home to empty homes tonight.
Well, you know how it goes. No one actually went away to work, so it doesn't matter. Rishi Kamath says, what's number 1 priority now? Defensive mid, centre back, right wing, Ndidi, Varane, Sancho. If not, then what are your picks for those positions?
No comment because we're making a video about this later. But I'll give you 2. Yeah. Sancho and Decky.
Declan Rice.
I've changed my tune on him anyway.
That's mad, that, innit?
I'd rather... you know what? Decky Rice, Camavinga, Ndidi. One of them names. Maybe not Camavinga's not as experienced as he.
Bit young, isn't he?
And he's going to go Real Madrid probably.
But yeah, I think those 3 signings would make United one of the best teams. Certainly, I think we'd have as good a first 11 as anyone in the league if we signed those 3 players. It's the squad that I worry about.
See, I said this on the kickoff the other day when Boovy was crying. I go, we're 2 free signings away from having one of the best 11s in the league. I got laughed at.
Well, who's better? City's the obvious option.
But even then, like, a Sancho, Cavani or Marshall, Rashford front 3 is as good, if not better, than anything.
Yeah, and City...
A midfield of any decent number 6 that's better than Fred.
Yeah.
Bruno and Pogba is better than anything in the world.
Yeah.
Show me a midfield that's better right now. Go on. Can't do it.
No, there isn't. And also, it doesn't count just because City play 7 midfielders every game. You don't have any strikers. City think they're good, and they are good. Obviously, they're winning stuff and they're successful. But in terms of a starting 11, they ain't got a striker. So it's like, it's not ridiculous to compare United starting 11 if we made 2 or 3 signings, obviously not now, to their starting 11. The reason why they will be probably more successful than United next season is because they've got Sterling, but then if he gets injured, they've got Bernardo Silva. And then if he gets injured, they've got Mahrez. And then if he gets injured, you can put Jesus on that side. You can bring Gundogan in, you can bring Rodri in, you can bring Fernando. Like, that's why they're so good, because they've got 15 players. Or, 2 or 3 players for each position.
Oh, 4 back-to-back League Cups. Yeah, so you can pay a £500 million team in the League Cup. Well done.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Fucking hell.
And they've got Otamendi, who was meant to be the best centre-back in the world 2 years ago. And now it's between him and Stones whether he plays.
Oh, check this out.
Sorry, Laporte, sorry.
Laporte,
that's what I meant.
Last season they were saying he's better than Van Dijk.
That's what I meant, yeah.
This weekend they said, when Laporte played, it's not our first strength.
Yeah.
First.
He was meant to be the best centre-back in the league 12 months ago.
John Stones was out going back to Barnsley about 6 months ago.
I know. It's ridiculous. They've got £50 million Mendy sitting on the bench. It's like, yeah, of course you're going to be good. You've got 25 players that have cost £50 million. But again, first 11, I think United is as strong as anyone. No, of course not.
And I mean, all them players, and they still might not even win the league this season.
It's sad, ain't it? United are going to win the league when they've got all them players.
Fucking madness.
Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic.
Um,
Any thoughts on the length of the contract? Because
what is the length?
it's just till next season, so we've got one more year out of him. Is that what you expected?
What I would call a love length.
You think?
Perfect.
Lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, it's perfect. Like, I would have hated us to see us go.
4
Here's
years.
2-3 years. Like, you know, we have a tendency to do stupid things like that, don't we? Although I'd rather give a 3-year deal to him than fucking Phil Jones or whoever it was we gave one to.
We have a 4-year deal to Matic, don't we?
Yeah, Nemanja Matic. Like, I'd understand giving it to Cavani, but yeah, a year is all you need. And I think he as well. I think you know Ollie. I bet Ollie's been going up to him. You know when he scores, going. Yeah, but you haven't scored in front of a full Stretford. Wait till you do that.
He definitely.
You know,
has.
like chipping in his head with little.
He said
things.
he has.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
I reckon he like walking off the pitch. He goes.
Yeah.
It was good that. Do you like that? Yes, it's better in front of a full. Like little things like that will make him think. I haven't had the full Manchester United experience. Even like the one experience Cavani's had of our fans is them being outside the hotel making the game that happen. Like that's when he saw how passionate our fans were for the first time. He must have loved that shit.
He's never played regularly in front of a stadium as big as Old Trafford, has he? In a stadium.
How much does PSG hold?
76,000.
Some of those stadiums in South America are massive.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of, because Napoli definitely isn't. PSG definitely, it's not 76,000 the Parc des Princes, is it? I don't think it is anyway. So, yeah, he needs to see what it's like properly, doesn't he? And obviously he knows that, but I guess it's hard to get your head around when you just haven't seen it. But obviously he has got his head around. 47,000 at PSG. So literally 30,000 less than Old Trafford.
Get more in this studio.
Exactly.
We got another super chat from John F09, John with an X. I think he's saying, I'm just worried United will do a Liverpool, run our best 11 into the ground and have short-term success. I think we've got a bit of a squad forming.
Yeah, me too. And also, come on, we'd take Champions League and the league in back-to-back seasons for the sake of having a year off, wouldn't we? Let's be honest. We're not going to have 26 years, or what was it? 20 years, wasn't it? From 93 to 2013 of being the team to beat in the league. No one has done that, ever. So we're not going to do that again. Like, what we're going to have to hope for is the best case scenario is what City have done, which is they've been the team to beat for a decade now. United could maybe do something like that, but the idea that, like, oh, we've won the Champions League, then the next season we won the league like Liverpool have done, we'd be more than happy with that. I wouldn't necessarily worry about short-term success. I'd just take the success for now. So, yeah, I'm not particularly bothered about that.
I think next season is the one.
What are you thinking? Premier League?
If it don't come this year, which still a chance, still hope. If it don't happen this year, it's definitely happening next year. Hate to sound like a Liverpool fan.
Hate to sound like a broken record when you've been saying 21 is coming all year.
Yeah. Well, still hope.
Still hope.
Got closer than anyone else would have thought we would.
Yeah. If City lose the next 2 games and then draw the last game,
Stevie Brewster got next. And then they've got Danny Welbeck.
he'll do it. And who they got last game of the season?
Michael Keane and Everton.
That's how people describe that team, isn't it?
Yeah.
Michael Keane's Everton.
Yeah.
Everton
all
are
the
shit.
ex-United players.
Everton
winning
are
the
shit
league
though,
for
aren't
us. Danny Welbeck owes us after celebrating at Old Trafford.
Yeah, he does.
So he needs to score. Steve Bruce.
They'll
He's
win.
won us a title before.
It's without question that Newcastle will beat City.
They twatted Leicester 4-2, bro.
Exactly.
4-2.
Newcastle are the worst team in the league, but they kept Liverpool to a draw. They twatted Leicester 4-2. They've got it in them. They'll do them, and not just do them. There'll be goals. 4-5-0. I'm telling you right now.
Remember when Newcastle beat us 5-0? Were you too young for that?
And then I'm too young for that maybe.
I remember that. Schmeichel got lobbed by, was it Philippe Albert? Was it?
Yes.
Got lobbed. Man.
Lauren Robert.
Not Lauren Robert. He never played for Newcastle at that time. No. He was a bit later. We lost 5-0, and we lost 5-0 to Chelsea at one point as well.
Well, that's not going to happen again, is it?
Which was sad. Those defeats live with you, you know. 3-0 against York City. I cried after that one.
Did you?
Yeah.
How old were you? Like 10?
Spoiled little brat. It was in '95, so I was probably like 6.
Yeah, I was 2. So I didn't have a memory.
You're allowed to cry when you're 6, isn't it?
Yeah, you can cry at anything. you cry because you accidentally snapped a twig.
Yeah.
It was my favourite. We're going to be back at 7 o'clock for Premier
You know
League
what I miss?
piss
Bogey
take.
bubbles. They were great.
When you're crying so hard that there's like a snot bubble in your head. Also tonight, we are going to be doing an exclusive Twitch watch-along for the Man United under-23s final game of the season. It's going to be me, it's going to be Jay, it's going to be David Pritt. We're going to be doing a lot more watch-alongs on Twitch over the summer as well with the Euros, so make sure you check that out tonight.
Invites, blood.
You what?
Where's my invite?
Do you want to come? 7 o'clock tonight?
I was just doing Wiley.
Oh.
No, you never seen
Just
that?
making me feel
Never
bad.
mind.
Just making me feel bad.
No,
You're invited. You're officially invited tonight, 7 o'clock, on the studio through there.
All right, cool. I'm going to play football.
Oh, right, you're going to play football, right? Yeah, good.
Mate, I'm so good. These like don't want to watch United's under 23s. They want to see me, bro.
What,
they
play
want to
football?
see me, bro.
Play football.
Do a round up.
Right, just before we go then, Edinson Cavani has signed a 1-year extension with Manchester United, confirmed by Fabrizio Romano today. He'll be signing until the summer of 2022, meaning United have got a proper number 9 for another season at least. What are your thoughts before we go?
Is that 2022?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. 2022.
Amazing. Right, thank you very much for
21
joining us. Like I said,
is
come back later on for Premier League Piss Take. Make sure you check that. We've also got the podcast live at 4 o'clock as well. Make sure you stick around for that one. Edinson Cavani, he signed an extra deal. Give it to Cavani, all that good stuff.
Give it to
See you in a bit.